Oh, hello everybody. I finally got a chance after 30 years to see the movie Casino. And this is a movie that's really gets a lot of accolades. It's considered really great. Some people say it's even better than Goodfellas. It's another movie that's a mobster movie, uh, kind of like a bunch of bad people kind of controlling a casino, running a casino. And the performances in here are not bad. Beginning with Robert De Niro, I have to tell you, Robert De Niro, I mean, I've seen him in so many similar movies. It's always like De Niro's always De Niro in these kind of movies. However, his character, I liked something about it in this particular one. It's kind of like his character as the head of the casino actually has some redeemable qualities, some decent qualities. He's very big into trust, the circle of trust. That sounds a little bit like Meet the Parents, but well, anyway, no. But he has a little bit of a moral code. I liked his character in this. Joe Pesci is on hand, of course. He's always the fireball, the hot-headed, crazy guy, just like he was in Goodfellas. He gets to do more of that. It's always great to see him do his thing when he really loses his mind and gets out of control. Um, Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone is so wonderful in this movie, performance-wise, and she's pretty, of course, to look at too. But I just think that her performance is so good, particularly at the later parts of the movie, that I said to myself, I think that she could get an award for this, Academy Award. I wonder if she did. And I looked it up and I found out after I saw the movie that Sharon Stone did indeed get nominated for Best Actress. And I'm glad to hear that. The characters I like in this movie, Don Rickles, the famous comedian, is on hand here as one of the, I don't know what you call him, the henchmen, whatever you want to call him. He's one of the guys in here who doesn't really have much to do. I thought Don Rickles, even though it's a pleasure to see the guy, is out of his element. I'm used to him being uh, a comedian and a put down artist and stuff like that. When you see him in here, just kind of like trying to be a goon around here for the people that run the casino, while he's a welcome presence, he really didn't fit in, is what I'm trying to say. Now, if you're a person out there who doesn't remember Don Rickles as being a stand-up comic who was always known for insulting and putting people down and saying a lot of, kind of insensitive comments, that was his career. You might not know any different, and he'd be fine to you. All right, now I told you some of the things that I liked about the movie. Let me tell you what I didn't like about the movie. For me, first of all, it's overrated in my opinion, and that doesn't mean it's bad. It means it's just not as great as everybody says. I went into this expecting this great movie. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good, but it kind of got hampered by the fact that it was too long. The movie runs almost 3 hours. I think it's 2 hours and 59 minutes. We'll say 3 hours. The movie's 3 hours. Easily, it could have, in my opinion, could have lost 45 minutes to an hour. You needed a lot tighter editing here. And what you really have here, even with the good parts, and there were good scenes and good moments, what you have here to me are just a lot of vignettes, is really all it is. Not really so much of a story as it is just a lot of goings on in the casino. Who's getting out of line, who has to have their head busted, who has to get, their head in a vice, who's got to be threatened, who's got to be told what they're supposed to do, what they're allowed to do here, what they're not allowed to do, riffraff, getting rid of the riffraff. It's just a lot of sequencings. It's just a lot of things. Sequencing isn't the word. The vignettes. It's just a lot of things that are happening here, but it's not really linear in any way until the end. When I say the end, I'm going to say the last part, the last act or so. Things get to be more of a story and more of character-driven things that happen. That you see, like the relationship going a little awkward between De Niro and Joe Pesci. The relationship going awkward between De Niro and Sharon Stone. I think it becomes more interesting near the latter portions of the movie for me. I think that's when you start to get more of a story going here and a narrative going here. Okay. As far as the direction by Martin Scorsese, the only thing really I would say is that there's one scene that stood out to me right away. It's a scene where the Joe Pesci character and the Robert De Niro character, they're starting to have some tensions, and they have to meet in the desert because all of the pressure is on them and the heat, so they have to go out to the desert where they can communicate without anybody watching them. So they drive out with their cars to the desert. It's beautiful, desert location, and they have it out. And they talk about their differences. Joe Pesci, in particular, telling De Niro off or telling him what he thinks of De Niro and all this. And then I love the shot where Joe Pesci gets in his car in the desert, speeds off in a huff, and leaves a cloud of desert dust into De Niro's face as he peels away. De Niro's still standing there outside the car. That was my best shot of the movie. Anyway, so yeah, it was okay. It was good, but come on, this is not one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I don't know when I'll revisit it again, but I might. And I said all I can say about it. Casino. Okay, so there it is.